Well, good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and we're going to read Acts 15:13 through 21. After Paul and Barnabas finished speaking, James replied, "Brothers, listen to me. Simeon has related how God first visited the Gentiles to take from them a people for his name. And with this, the words of the prophets agree, just as it is written, 'After this I will return, and I will rebuild the tent of David that has fallen. I will rebuild its ruins, and I will restore it, that the remnant of mankind may seek the Lord, and all the Gentiles who are called by my name, says the Lord, who makes these things known from of old.' Therefore my judgment is that we should not trouble those of the Gentiles who turn to God, but should write to them to abstain from things polluted by idols, and from sexual immorality, and from what has been strangled, and from blood. For from ancient generations Moses has had in every city those who proclaim him, for he is read every Sabbath in the synagogues." So, the Council of Jerusalem concludes with this decision promulgated there by James. This is James, the brother of Jesus, and he is the leader of the Jerusalem church. He's an early convert to the faith and a strong leader. And so James, excuse me, James says we shouldn't trouble these people. We've heard that God is acting among them, and so we should trust the word of the prophets and believe that God is doing this. But we should give them these four pieces of advice: that they should abstain from things polluted by idols, abstain from sexual immorality, abstain from what has been strangled, and from blood. And that is actually a kind of compromise, because things polluted by idols, Paul in a couple of his letters says it's just meat. You want to eat the meat, eat the meat. What would happen in Roman cities is that the animals would be sacrificed to the idols in the early morning, and then the meat would be taken down to the marketplace and sold. So if you bought something in the market, it had likely been sacrificed to, dedicated to some Roman or Greek god or goddess that morning. And this becomes an issue of conscience for some people. And Paul says, it's just meat. Get over it. But if you can't get over it, it's okay, but you should be able to get over it. So there's that. Sexual immorality, behave yourself. What's been strangled and from blood, those refer to some of the Jewish dietary laws. They believed that the blood was what gave something life. And so when they would kill an animal, they would hang it up and drain all the blood out of it. So that way its life was not in there when you ate it. And those are just basic things about the dietary laws. And so he's saying excuse me, he's saying these things to pacify the Jewish critics, the Jewish Christian critics, and also to say, well, here's our compromise. We'll go this far, but we don't need to go further. Now, this passage is an interesting one for us, because we see the leaders of the Jerusalem church essentially capitulating and saying, well, if the Spirit is doing something new, we have to go along with the Spirit. We don't like it. It's against our custom, but we've got to go along with the Spirit. And I think that is something that is happening in the church today in various ways, and it's something that we should think about and pay attention to, because the Spirit can and does move wherever it will. and sometimes breaks through our comfortable boundaries and our comfortable rules that we've set up, and says, the Spirit says, hey, we're going to love and accept everybody, and we're going to bring everybody together. And so we don't need to have all of these things that separate us. We'll ponder that today. Tomorrow we'll read about the letter that they actually did send and how that worked out. Have a great day. I hope that you can stay free of this illness, which for me is mostly my voice is weak and I'm coughing all the time. But we'll try to get over that by Sunday. See you then. Bye-bye.